I'm JNaps MMA. This is my prediction and breakdown of UFC 309. Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. A fight that nobody wanted to see. We wanted to see Tom Aspinall knock out Jon Jones in the middle octagon, but as long as Jon Jones' Daddy Dana White, is in his corner, he will win. We need Stipe Miocic to pull out a miracle out of his ass, which is probably not going to happen, but if it does, the entire MMA community will love Stipe Miocic. But, what can we do? We're about to see the co-main is a fight that we've already seen before, like years ago, and we're probably going to see the same outcome again, let's be honest. And the entire card sucks. We got Bo Nickal fighting Paul Craig. Kind of want Paul Craig to, fraud check Bot Nickal. Bedtime says bot, so we're going to call him Bot Nickal for this one. But yeah, let's just get on with the first fight of the night, dude. We have a lot to talk about. We have Veronica Hardy versus Eduardo Moura. Veronica Hardy's on a 3-fight win streak. She's beaten Juliana Miller, trash. JB Lynn she robbed Ivana Petrovic in the UFC Edmonton, and she beat JJ Aldridge. I'm gonna still go with Veronica Hardy here, obviously, because Veronica Hardy has Dan Hardy in her corner, and I feel like Dan Hardy, he's a good UFC fighter back in his day, and I feel like he gives Veronica Hardy a push. Like, some of these girls in WMMA need a push in the middle of a fight, and Veronica Hardy usually gets that push, and she does really good. She gets the job done. Eduardo Moura is 1-1 in the UFC, and her last fight was to Diniz Gomes. And Veronica Hardy is really good striking, and I think if she can just implement her striking against Eduardo Moura, she definitely can just win Eduardo Moura, beat her 29-28. So yeah, I got Veronica Hardy by decision. On to the next fight. We have Oban Elliott versus Bassil Hafez. Bassil Hafez, his last fight was against Gall, who we're probably going to talk about in like a couple minutes, let's be honest with you. That was a really electric fight, and that was a pretty close fight, not going to lie to you. Bassil Hafez even took Jack Della Maddalena to a split decision too. And I'm definitely just going to go with Bassil Hafez, even though in that Gall fight, it looked pretty close. Gall was going to finish him at one point. He was going to finish Gall. But Oban Elliott, dude, he's just somewhat mediocre, dude. And his last fight against, was it Preston Parsons? Preston Parsons just didn't look good out there. And, Oban Elliott has only fought Preston Parsons and Val Woodburn. And I don't know, dude. Bassil Hafez, he's just on another level. Then Oban Elliott. I feel like Oban Elliott, for him to win this fight, he has to come out guns blazing and try and just, have more output and try and, just really knock out Bassil Hafez. I feel like Bassil Hafez is just pretty good on the feet, man. And I just think he has a chance of knocking out Oban Elliott. So I got Bassil Hafez by knockout in, the second round or first. Or he just takes him to a decision, but I think he wins by knockout. On to the next fight. Let's talk about the last guy Bassil Hafez fought. Gall versus Ramiz Brahimi, whatever. I'm gonna butcher it. I'm sorry. Until I hear it from Paul Felder's mouth, or Daniel Cormier, or John Atkins' mouth. Let's be honest. Gall, man. His UFC career has been one of a kind. Let's be honest. His first fight being against CM Punk. From fighting CM Punk to Sage Northcutt to just being, I don't know, man. This man's been fighting for a while already. But the man's on a 3-fight losing streak, losing to Alex Morano, Mike Malott, and Bassil Hafez, obviously. His last one was against Jordan Williams. I really want to go with Gall here because he really impressed me against Bassil Hafez. But Ramiz, let's just say Ramiz. Ramiz is what? He's he has a couple fights in the UFC, but he lost to Themba Gorimbo, and that win right there, I mean, that loss to Themba Gorimbo, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Themba Gorimbo is good, but he's not fighting the elites, and he's not even fighting like good competition. Let's be honest with you. Ramiz, he's fought Michael Gilmore. He lost to Court McGhee, and he's lost to Max Griffin. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna go with Mickey Gall here. I feel like Mickey Gall, he's improved a lot in that last fight, and he showed a lot. And I might get this pick wrong, but if Mickey Gall wins, I'll be super happy for him. Hopefully he wins and doesn't get cut. He doesn't get cut from the UFC. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mickey Gall here. On to the next fight. We have Marcin Tybura versus Jonathan Diniz. Jonathan Diniz was supposed to fight Derek Lewis in UFC Edmonton. Derek Lewis just couldn't fight that weekend. I don't know why. Marcin Tybura steps up. Marcin Tybura's last fight was against I think it was Sergey Spivak. Sergey Spivak literally, I predicted Sergey Spivak to win this fight, and he caught him right. He caught his neck and just, I mean, no, it was an arm bar. That's right. He caught him in an arm bar, and yeah. Here's my thing about Marcin Tybura. This is a really quick turnaround. Not quick, but I think this is quick. It's a quick turnaround for a heavyweight, especially who he's going up against. Like Jonathan Diniz, he's not no joke, but like in his last couple fights, he's looked really good. He knocked out Austin Lane pretty bad. Who else did he beat Carl Williams pretty good too. Like he hurt Carl Williams. My thing is, does Jonathan Diniz have the grappling to keep up with Marcin Tybura? That was one of the problems with Spivak in their first fight. He did not have the grappling to keep up with Marcin Tybura. Can Jonathan Diniz? The question is, can Jonathan Diniz knock out Marcin Tybura before he takes him to the ground? Because honestly, Jonathan Diniz did look good against Carl Williams. He was stuffing the takedowns, but Marcin Tybura, he's a mountain man, dude. He has a lot of stamina. He can go, and it's a 3-round fight. It's not even 5 rounds. It's a 3-round fight. I want to go Jonathan Diniz here. I want the young and up and comer. Well, he's not young, but he's the new guy moving up in the heavyweight division. I want him to win. He's going up against a 39-year-old Marcin Tybura, but I don't know. I'm just safe. Like, I want to pick Jonathan Diniz, but I'm just gonna go with Marcin Tybura. It's a safer pick, I guess, because if it goes to the ground, Marcin Tybura does not have crappy grappling like Carl Williams. He will keep Jonathan Diniz in the ground, and this is kind of a big step up for Jonathan Diniz. Like, you're going up against top 10 heavyweight, dude. Like, this is like the upper class of the heavyweights. Like, you know, you get a win against Marcin Tybura, you start, you know, fighting the upper salon or the upper class or whatever you want to call it of the heavyweight division. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Marcin Tybura here. I hope Jonathan Diniz wins though. It'd be nice to have the young guy win. On to the next fight though. We have Jim Miller versus Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson. It's kind of obvious who I'm picking here. I'm gonna go with Jim Miller. Hopefully he wins and he retires here because he needs a win. He needs a win and he needs to just. He needs a win and he needs to cruise against Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson, he's just trash grappling. I mean, trash. He's just trash, let's be honest. But Jim Miller, he's not fighting Bobby Green. Let's be honest right here. He's not fighting Bobby Green. And Bobby Green, you know, he's a great All-American wrestler or whatever. He was stuffing Jim Miller's takedowns and he was really good on the feet. Piecing him up on the feet. Striking with him at like literally for all 3 rounds. Busted up Jim Miller's face. And I was kind of mad that day because I picked Jim Miller to beat Bobby Green. Had a nice little parlay and he kind of ruined it. whatever. Another guy we're gonna talk about that was on that 300 card. Also messed up my parlay in Charles Oliveira. But yeah, Damian Jackson has only fought, I don't know, like the lower. He's just not been good. He somehow beat Alexander Hernandez in a split decision. He lost to Chepe Mariscal by unanimous decision in a really tough, I'm not gonna say tough, but he was kind of gassed out. I don't know if that hair transplant did something to him, but whatever. But he's lost to Danny Ige, he's lost to Billy Quarantillo, he somehow beat Pat Sabatini, but whatever. I'm just gonna go with Jim Miller here. If Jim Miller just implements if he just implements what he needs to do and take Damian Jackson to the ground and beat him with his grappling, he will win this fight, and he will win. And he will just retire, like go off into the sunset with a win, man. And yeah, in Madison Square Garden too, that's pretty nice. So I got Jim Miller. On to the next fight. We have Chris Weidman versus Eryk, your boy Andrews. Both of these guys kind of fight like almost the same. I know Weidman, well, you know, Weidman is pretty old now. It's not fighting a, you know, it's not like him fighting Silva or whatever. But against Bruno Silva, let's be honest here. Against Bruno Silva, he should have lost that fight. He eye poked Silva for the win. Let's be honest here. Silva's been looking crappy, but you know, let's be honest. I don't know, man. I want to see Weidman could win this fight, but I feel like Eryk, your boy Andrews, he has a little bit of power in his punches, like always, dude. And Weidman, before that Bruno Silva fight, was on a pretty, I don't know, he wasn't looking good, bro. He wasn't looking good. Obviously, he broke his leg against Uriah Hall, and he took that long layoff to recover. But against Brad Tavares, he just wasn't, like, come on. He was not going to beat Brad Tavares. Now, Eryk, your boy Andrews, man, in his last fight, I think it was against Azamat, who was supposed to fight on this card, but, I don't know, man. This card, dude, they tried, like, any good fight that we were waiting for in this card just falls off. It just demolishes into a million pieces, disintegrates like if Thanos snapped his fingers. But Eryk, your boy Andrews, his last win was against Jamie Pickett. Yeah, it was Jamie Pickett. Azamat fought Alonzo Menefield, my bad. His last fight was against Jamie Pickett earlier this year. He lost to Marc-Andre Barat, which he just got knocked out. He beat Kyle Dawkins, lost to the Iron Turtle. I think I'm just going to go with Weidman because he's faced at least better competition. Like, fighting your last fight being Jamie Pickett is just, it doesn't do it for me. Jamie Pickett was never supposed to be in the UFC. He was just a stepping stone for Bo Nickal to finally just, you know, get his name out there. I'm going to go with Weidman. Scared, but like really scared. Like, I want to go with Weidman, but I think he might lose this fight. But I think Weidman could win. But let's pray he wins and he retires as well. He needs to just retire too. On to the next fight. Featured prelim. We have Jonathan Martinez versus Marcus McGhee. If y'all know me, I love Jonathan Martinez. I love the guys that leg kick. And I really wanted Jonathan Martinez to beat Jose Aldo, but yeah, that's not gonna happen. At least he went to war with Jose Aldo, not like somebody that's named Mario Bautista, who actually is in the same gym as the guy he's facing in I get mad just talking about Mario Bautista, but Marcus McGhee fights at MMA Labs with he trains at MMA Labs with Mario Bautista, so hopefully he's not crotch sniffing like his boy. But Marcus McGhee, he's been on a tear in the UFC. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's had a rear naked choke against Journey Newsome. He knocked out JP Bays or whatever, but JP Bays was trash. And he actually beat Gaston Bolanos, who just fought last week. Knocked him out. But you're facing a different competition in Jonathan Martinez, man. Jonathan Martinez, his leg kicks are his game, and if you can't stop that, you're kind of just toasted for 3 rounds, or your leg is just done in like the second or third, and you can't really move like that. And Jonathan Martinez has really great grappling, great striking. He was on a beautiful run before he actually had to meet Jose Aldo, but guess what? I feel like this was an easy fight for Jonathan Martinez to win. I'm not saying it's going to be like a cakewalk, but I feel like Jonathan Martinez can get the dub against Marcus McGhee. 29-28. Or just leg kick KOs because he's done it to Queb Swanson and he's done it to Adrian Yanez. And yeah, if you can't stop the leg kicks of Jonathan Martinez, you're basically just in trouble. I got Jonathan Martinez. The Dragon, let's get it done, man. I need a win from you to end this year right. On to the main event. To start off the main event, oof, the Fighting Nerds, man. They're on a tear, dude. The Fighting Nerds. Mauricio Ruffy versus James Llontop. Y'all already know who I'm going for, dude. Go see my Fighting Nerds video. Ruffy is basically gonna beat Llontop. Llontop is coming in on short notice. He's a dog, but he lost to Uros Medic and almost got knocked out by Uros Medic. Llontop, even against Chris Padilla. Chris Padilla like had a nasty KO win in his last fight. Oh, it wasn't Uros Medic. It was Chavez Clash. My bad. I keep confusing him, Uros Medic and Chavez Clash. But yeah, Chavez Clash almost knocked that guy out. Let's talk about more Mauricio Ruffy. Like Mauricio Ruffy and the Fighting Nerds. Let's talk about those guys. Those guys are just insane right now. I think this is the best gym in the UFC right now. Every single guy coming out of this gym is just looking like a contender or like one of the best prospects you'll ever see. Mauricio Ruffy knocked out Jamie Marlaki super quick. And I think he'll do the same thing with Llontop, dude. Respect for Llontop for coming on short notice, but man, the Fighting Nerds on another level. Mauricio Ruffy's striking is crazy. And I think he'll knock out Llontop in the first round. And he'll get the prelims. He'll get the main card started off hot. This probably is the most exciting fight we'll see. But yeah, on to the next fight. We have Karine Silva versus Viviane Araujo. I'm going to go with the young up-and-comer in Karine Silva. I just feel like Viviane Araujo has reached her peak, man. I feel like she's just reached her peak. And Karine Silva, she's 4-0 in the UFC. And she's won all of those by submission. And her last fight against Ariana Lipski de Silva, she won by decision. I think she could have finished her, but she's getting on, it's not an easy fight, but Viviane Araujo's no jokey. Say that, she's no joke. But Viviane Araujo, her thing is she doesn't look good against the opponents that she needs to look good in and loses to them. In her last fight, she lost to Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva just beat Jessica Andrade and looked really good in that fight. She beat Jennifer Maia, but Jennifer Maia is just like, she had her time. She lost to Amanda Ribas. She lost to Alexa Grasso. She even lost to Caitlin Chuhagian, or whatever her last name is now. Semarina, or I'm not going to say it. She's just beaten like the lower class of the women's division, bro. And Karine Silva, I just feel like she's a little bit, her grappling is good. I think she can probably not submit Viviane Araujo. She does have a chance, but I think this just goes to a decision, 29-28. Karine Silva just gets it done on the ground. Looks good, looks for a top 5 opponent next at flyweight. On to the next fight. This fight right here, dude. Jesus. Bo Nickal versus Paul Craig. I know. Well, my Bo Nickal video has like 2K views or whatever. Thank y'all for that. If you're watching this video and you've come back to see this. And I've actually already talked about this card before. I made a 309 rant on how bad this card was, and it continued to be bad. Even if they put good fights on the card, they fall off and they get canceled. But basically, I kind of predicted in my Bo Nickal video that he should either fight I keep forgetting his name, the guy who fought Robert Whittaker before Robert Whittaker fought Kazmat Chimaev. I always forget his name. And I also predict that Bo Nickal should fight Paul Craig. And Dana White probably saw my video and said, you know what? Let's put Bo Nickal against Paul Craig. And I wasn't too excited, but at the same time, I kind of was, because I feel like if the grappling cancels out, it could be, you know, Bo Nickal either gets a really exciting knockout or he gets tested. And I kind of want to see if Paul Craig is the test for Bo Nickal. Can he fraud check him? My answer is I don't think he will. Let's be honest right now. Paul Craig is on a losing streak right now, like a 2-fight losing streak. He got knocked out by Carly Borjalio, and he got submitted by Brendan Allen. And I just feel like, you know, Paul Bearju Craig, I don't know, man. He's just, it's weird. Like in some of his fights he'll look really good, and then in some of his other fights he looks like crap. And dude, it's been like a long time since that Jamal Hill win, dude. And ever since that Jamal Hill win, he beat Nikita Krylov, which is a pretty good win, but lost to Uzdemir. And then I don't know, dude. He's just been awkward, dude. He lost to Johnny Walker, beat Andre Muniz, but the last 2 guys that he's fought, those are kind of like the guys that are like in the middleweight division right now, that are like making a name for themselves. Obviously, Brendan Allen just fumbled the bag against Nasser Dimavov, but you know, it's Brendan Allen. Whatever. We're not gonna talk about him. Bo Nickal, man. I need to see something out of Bo Nickal. I'm gonna pick him to win this fight. I know I had, like, in my video, I kind of talked a little bit of crap about him because, like, he says, like, oh, I don't want to take a fight on short notice, or, oh, I don't want to fight the top of the division. But how are you going to improve when you don't fight a good fighter? Like, you're fighting Paul Craig. You know, he's not really, like, the top echelon of the middleweight division, but, you know, he needs a better opponent. Like, look at all the guys that, like, he's fought. Jamie Pickett out of the UFC. Val Woodburn out of the UFC for sure. Cody Brundage somehow still in the UFC, but should be out of the UFC. Like, I know you got Dana White privilege, brother, but I need you to do something. I need you to wow the people. Like, I need you to, like, get crazy knockouts, have a crazy fight. But whatever. I'm gonna go with Bo Nickal to win this fight, and pray he does something. Or if Paul Craig beats him and fraud checks him, it'd be crazy to talk about as well. On to the co-main. We have a fight that we've already seen before in Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. And I'm going to pick Charles Oliveira. This is exactly how it's going to come out. Michael Chandler's going to come out with his crazy little music, like, oh, whatever, his all-American music, rock music or whatever. He's going to hype himself up. Crazy, yeah, whatever. Charles Oliveira's gonna come out with his custom shorts. They both got custom shorts. They're gonna come out. You know, he's gonna peaceful Brazilian music. You know, praying and whatever. It's gonna be literally the same thing. Well, the first thing that Michael Chandler's gonna do is, as soon as they start off, is he's gonna start swinging because he hasn't been in the octagon in forever and he wants to get it out of him. And he's going to start swinging crazy. Oliveira, obviously, he's going to dodge it. He's going to catch him with something. Michael Chandler would either drop or he eats it. Or Oliveira literally sees him wobble, goes to the ground, submits him. I just feel like it's going to be the same thing as the first fight. And I feel like Charles Oliveira wins by TKO or obviously rear naked choke. I feel like Charles Oliveira just submits Michael Chandler. Chandler hasn't been in the ring for a while, obviously trying to get that McGregor money, that McGregor fight. That wasn't going to happen. And I just feel like Charles Oliveira, this is like an easy fight for him. After like fighting Arman Tsarukyan, and Arman Tsarukyan, that was a really crazy battle. Charles Oliveira lost that day and ruined my parlay, but whatever. That's why we don't bet on WMMA. But we're here. I got Charles Oliveira winning this fight. Let's get to the main event, man. Let's not waste any more time and talk about Jon's ducking Aspinall Jones versus Stipe We Need a Miracle Miocic. Obviously, I'm not gonna be biased or anything and go, I'm gonna pick Stipe Miocic to win because I want him to win. I'm gonna pick Jon Jones to win because he should be able to win this fight. Jon Jones should be able to outstrike Stipe Miocic, and he should be able to out-grapple Stipe Miocic. Like, Stipe Miocic hasn't fought in so long. It's kind of crazy. I don't even know why they made this fight. Well, you know, it's Dana White. Whatever. We're not going to talk about that. Let's talk about Stipe Miocic, as Lucas Tracy calls him. Stipe Miocic, man. He needs a miracle. He needs to pull it out of his ass. He needs to go out there. If he catches Jon Jones one time, try and finish him, dude. Obviously, they're going to let that thing go on forever until like a minute, and then he'll jump in. Crazier part is that Jon Jones, let's talk about this. Jon Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall to a whole other level, dude. Jon Jones does not want to see his name against Tom Aspinall because he knows he's going to get wrecked, dude. And the sad part is that Dana White will do everything to not make that fight happen, dude. And it's kind of crazy because we all want that fight. Like, even when Aspinall was fighting Blades for the second time, that, you know, the report in the crowd or a fan or whoever it was said, oh, is it true that Jon Jones will be fighting Tom Aspinall? Tom Aspinall wins this fight. And, you know, Dana White, like the liar he is, said, yeah, that fight's gonna happen. Months later, that fight did not happen. They made it with Stipe Miocic. And yeah, now he's basically the backup. And I was kind of like not praying on Stipe's downfall, but I was kind of praying like Stipe Miocic would, like, you know, get out of this fight, you know, just like get hurt or something, and Tom Aspinall will step in. But what can we do? It's not gonna happen. I don't think Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall will ever happen as long as Dana White is the matchmaker, is the president. As long as he's there, that's not gonna happen. I don't know what Jon Jones is doing to him in backstage, gobbling his glizzy. I don't know what's going on back there, but Jon Jones runs the UFC as long as he's here and he's doing something. And bro, this fight, it's two old men fighting, dude. Like, when Jon Jones fought Cyril Gahn and he went for the spinning kick and that looked so slow, I was like, bro, Tom Aspinall can catch that kick, take him down, and knock him out so quickly. But whatever. I don't know, this main event, we're all just gonna sit and pray that Jon Jones makes a mistake and Miocic just does what he needs to do to win this fight. If Stipe even makes this a fight, an interesting fight, it'd be exciting. But I don't know, I feel like Jon Jones is gonna come out here and dominate him since Stipe hasn't fought in so long. Like, he's just been a dad and a firefighter, dude. While Jon Jones has been recovering from an injury and still having the belt. So obviously wasn't going to get stripped, but I got good Jon Jones winning this fight, man. I don't want to make this video so long. I'm JNaps MMA. Like and subscribe. Go watch my flyweight video. Put a lot of work into that. I'm probably going to make a fight of the year video pretty soon. But yeah. I'm JNM's MMA, and I'm out.